Hi everyone, I'm Sam and I'm super excited to get into these Mercury retrograde readings. I really do feel like that these readings are going to be an extension of the new moon readings that I did earlier this week. So if you haven't checked out that one, I would say to honestly start with that one and then go to this one. Just because like this whole month basically is going to be retrograding. So Mercury goes retrograde on Thursday the 31st of October and then goes direct November 20th. So we probably have already been feeling a little bit of Mercury retrograde because pre-shadow started on October 11th and then Mercury post-shadow is going to go till December 7th. So a good way to prep for Mercury retrograde is think back of everything that's been going on the past 3 weeks from October 11th until October 31st, because all the things that have been going on, that's going to basically be like a pre-shadow essentially of what's going to really go down in Mercury retrograde, and then post-shadow of Mercury retrograde is going to be all like the finishing touches. So this retrograde is going to be in the sign of Scorpio, and it is retrograding in the sub-constellation Anuradha, which is represented by success, a lotus. Okay, so this retrograde is going to be all about finding the truth, inner truths, especially because the sub-constellation relates to tapping into psychic ability or tapping into intuition or tapping into the universe to get answers and to move forward. So there's going to be a lot of that. Retrogrades are all about rethinking, reevaluating, redoing. Okay, Mercury is the planet of communication, so it's going to be specifically communicating with people, communicating with others, communicating yourself. You know, how are you communicating to the world? How are you communicating in your relationships? Things like that. So how are you communicating in your career, in your professional life? So there's going to be a lot of rethinking. So this is why a lot of people say don't start anything during Mercury retrograde, don't sign anything during Mercury retrograde, don't get into relationships during Mercury retrograde, because usually they have a hidden karmic lesson in it, okay, or it usually won't work if it happens during retrograde. So today I'm going to do all of the Vedic rising signs. Again, rising sign is going to be most important for this one, I would say, but of course always watch your rising moon and sun sign as well. I'm going to read from the Game of Thrones tarot, and I'm going to ask the 3 questions. What power do your words hold this time? What old wound is ready to be transformed, and what support do you have from your ancestors? I actually got that spread from Biddy Tarot, and I love their spreads actually, and I actually wanted to stick with that one because I really resonated with it. And then I'm also going to pick 3 cards, just kind of seeing what's going on with love life, because I just have been noticing that in my own personal life, in a lot of my friends' lives and everything, and just in general during retrogrades, exes come back, or people from the past come back, or crushes come back, or old friends come back, and usually it's like, what does this mean? So we'll look into what it means for you, and then I am going to pull like 1 or 2, probably 2, knowing me, cards from the life purpose deck to kind of just see what's going on with like career or just like life in general, just because Scorpio does have a lot to do with looking at the truth of things. So let's get into it. Hello, my Aries risings, my Aries suns, my Aries moons. This will be the most accurate for your rising sign, but I suggest to watch all 3, rising sun and moon. And also this is going to be an extension of the new moon readings that I also did. So if you want to check that out first or after this, then go for it. But yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, Aries, so everything actually looks really good, except there's something funky with your love life, but we'll get into it. So, the power that your guys' words really hold during Mercury retrograde, we have 7 of Cups reversed. Okay, so you guys might have a lot of like stuff on your plate right now, and like a lot of options, a lot of just things, you know, going on. And during retrograde, you're actually going to be able to kind of figure out, okay, what is real, what's not, what are everybody's intentions, what are my intentions. You're really going to be able to essentially communicate with people to really figure out what options are plausible versus what options for you are actually good versus, you know, what just sounds good. You know what I mean? What old wound you guys are ready to transform during retrograde? We have 4 of coins. So any relationship with money that's been funky with you, when, you know, maybe there was a time where, you know, you guys, you know, didn't have a lot of money and, you know, it kind of been hard to like let it go, you know, kind of to like, you know, almost like to let go of worrying about money, you know what I mean? And worrying about like, oh no, like when's the next paycheck gonna come and like things like that. Like that can start to transform into something different. It's really just time for Aries people to really start, instead of being like obsessive and like clinging to money, you know what I mean, all the time, it's really like, if you guys have been working hard, like it's time for you guys to actually enjoy yourselves. Or it's one of those things where you just have to release the need for money and money will flow to you. I know that's really, really hard to do and like kind of have faith in, but it's true. Because also the support that you guys do have from your ancestors is the Magician. So Aries people, I don't know if you guys do come from like a long line of witches or shamans or healers or something like that, but if you guys meditate or speak to your ancestors or anything like that, now is the time to do it because they're really trying to help you. They're really, really behind you, because we also have strength here when it comes to life purpose, okay? So strength, your inner strength and the things that you have been through in the past is really going to help you now, okay? And getting through things. So it's one of those things where if you guys like maybe, you know, are going kind of through it right now or going to go through it during retrograde, and you kind of have to remember like, oh, okay, I remember, you know, in my past I also did this and I got over it by doing X, Y, and Z. Also with life purpose, we have artist here, okay? So if you guys are artists or if you have any artistic abilities or anything like that, right now is a really good time to tap into that and use it for your career, or use it just to like kind of guide you through Mercury retrograde, because you guys are getting a lot of support from your ancestors. The Magician card is kind of like all encompassing. It's like, it's very, they're really, really helping you. When it comes to relationships, the thing is that where you guys are at right now, we have King of Cups in the sex magic deck. And when King of Cups comes up, it does mean that you guys are having like good relationships in your life and partnerships and things like that. However, we do have 3 of Swords and 6 of Coins reversed. So when 3 of Swords is here, it just means that, here's the thing, 6 of Coins being here when advice kind of just says that like you guys are just kind of bored right now with like your relationships. Like nothing's necessarily bad, nothing's necessarily good, and you're just kind of like, eh. And it's like maybe you do want to find someone that really is like gives you that, or either just be alone. Like you're kind of just like, you don't really want to be in like a half-assed relationship right now. So with 3 of Swords here with challenges, it kind of just means that like if there's any disagreements or anything that you're just not vibing with, you just gotta say something and kind of just let it go, or try and fix it, because right now you're just in this weird moment of like, yeah, like things are good but things are bad at the same time, or things are good but things aren't necessarily bad, and it's just kind of like meh. And then also that's the thing too, is this retrograde is hitting Aries risings in their 8th house of transformation and rebirth. So if it's anything to do with specifically money or love, I mean, money and love are usually very connected, you know what I mean? So, you know, something there needs to be transformed or reevaluated or looked at right now, you know, because you guys do have a boredom here, but, you know, and you guys, you know, are transforming more positively when it comes to career. So maybe it will all just kind of like flow all together. So yeah, that's like the short little cute Mercury retrograde reading. I would say if you guys want a more extensive reading, I would say watch the new moon readings that I did, because again, those were pretty much Mercury retrograde readings, except they were like big, you know? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little reading. Thank you so much, Aries. Hi, Taurus risings, Taurus suns, and Taurus moons. How are you? This will be the most accurate for your Vedic rising sign, but if you only know your Western, that is totally okay too. I would say if you want to get a more intense reading, watch the new moon readings that I posted a few days ago, just because the new moon readings were pretty much Mercury retrograde readings. They were really, really fat, but I did want to get more specific with Mercury retrograde because I do feel like this is going to be an intense one. So Taurus people, Mercury retrograde is really going to help you guys move forward. I feel like from this reading, you guys have kind of just been stuck and like not really knowing like what to do next. The power that your guys' words hold during retrograde, we have Page of Swords reversed. So it means that you guys are going to be able to really like kind of sift through your own ideas. Either the way you talk to people or the people that you talk to, basically like something is going to reveal itself more to what you should be doing in life, because we have time to decide for your life purpose, which is, you know, make a decision based on your heart's truest desires. And then also for what old wound you guys need to transform, we have Two of Wands reversed, which basically means that you guys have a lot of wishes. You guys have a lot of wishes and a lot of goals, but have no idea how to get there. And that is where like the power of your words is really going to help. Like talking to people is really going to be like, oh, okay, like maybe, okay, like this is what I have to do next, and here and this and, you know, whatever. Because your ancestors are really helping you guys with Six of Spears, okay? And that means they're really going to help you guys feel good about yourself. Like feel like you actually can move forward, kind of come to this personal, like, you can do it, you know, sort of thing. You know what I mean? We also have teaching here, saying that you inspire young people to learn, okay? So maybe the next step for you guys is to teach others, you know? It's very interesting because it's like, I feel like there is a lot of like skill set with Taurus that you guys just aren't using really, or you don't know where to go with it, or maybe it is just simply the self-confidence that's kind of funky and that's why you're not moving forward, because I feel like it really is a problem within the self, not really like an outer influence being like, you know, like it's not like, you know, your job is fucking you up or like in a relationship or something like that. I do want to get into relationships though, because it does look like that you guys are kind of trying to force things a little bit, not like in a gross way or anything, but like there may be someone that you kind of like have your eye on that you're, or you know, maybe you're focusing too much on love sort of thing, you know, and you're kind of just trying to like make it happen with anyone, because we do have Nine of Cups here reversed, okay, meaning that you guys are kind of being a little greedy, you know, you guys aren't being very grateful for what you do have, you know, and like maybe grateful for like yourself and like, you know, love yourself, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can, well, and I'd say that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too, is that this retrograde is hitting Taurus risings in their 7th house of relationships and partnerships and marriage and all that good stuff. So this retrograde is going to bring up stuff for, you know, love life. You know, you guys might have exes coming back, because we do have the High Priestess reversed. You know, that basically means that you guys aren't really listening to your intuition that much. You're kind of ignoring it. You know, you might be forcing things to happen that, you know, aren't supposed to. We also have the Page of Coins here reversed. So again, you guys aren't really like thinking things through with something, or you guys are just forcing something. You guys are forcing love life to happen when it's just not the right time, or there's things that you guys have to focus on first, because it is looking like, at least with career stuff, you guys really need to kind of focus on that, you know, that, and maybe you're using love life as a distraction, you know, but and that's the thing, is that this retrograde is probably going to, you know, make you reevaluate how you look at relationships and how you treat other people and partnerships and all that stuff. So just to give a heads up on that. But yeah, again, if you want, you know, a more in-depth reading, I would say look at the new moon readings that I did. And yeah, I hope this helped you guys for Mercury retrograde. Thank you, Taurus. Hello, Gemini risings, Gemini suns, and Gemini moons. How are you guys doing? This will be the most accurate for your rising signs, for your Vedic rising signs, but if you only know your Western, that is totally okay too. I say that these are an extension of the new moon readings that I did a couple days ago, so if you kind of want to get a more in-depth reading, then I would say go watch those before this or after this, whichever one. But let's get into it. Okay, Gemini, this retrograde looks really healing for you guys. So the power that your guys' words hold, you guys have Page of Cups, which is really great. Very creative energy, very new energy, very, you know, emotionally in tuned. It's very like lighthearted energy for your guys. So that's really good that you guys are going to able to, you know, get that out there and attract that as well. Because what old wounds you guys have to transform. You guys have justice. So any injustices that has happened to Gemini, okay, you guys really are going to start to release that or start to heal that. Things might come up around some injustices that happened in the past to you, because we do have healer and crystals here for life purpose. So really what's going to come up for you guys is really pushing you towards healing, a healing profession. I mean, this could be anything from a metaphysical type healing, or it could be actual like a doctor or psychologist, something like that. But using crystals in general are probably going to help you with healing. There's a lot of healing. Also too, because the support that you guys are getting from your ancestors is Five of Swords reversed. And Five of Swords reversed, I feel like they're really going to show you which fights and kind of like which disagreements and like what partnerships and what people, you know, basically are just not good for you and like kind of just pointless for you to keep fighting against, and kind of like what's the point of even like going against it because they're not going to change, you know what I mean? I keep like, that's kind of what I feel like that's what you guys, your ancestors are really going to like show you that, because they really want you to heal. There's a lot of like healing energy. Also, this makes sense because Mercury retrograde is hitting your guys' 6th house, Gemini rising 6th house of health and service. So health, your guys' health, mental, physical, all that, helping others, all that's going to become reevaluated and, you know, come up, you know. Because in your love life too, you guys have Death reversed, you have Page of Wands, and you have Wheel of Fortune reversed, okay? So with those 3 cards here, there's really going to be a huge transformation on how you are looking at your love life and looking at personal relationships and stuff like that. Death reverse kind of means that, you know, a transformation has been waiting to come and you've kind of been putting it off. So it's going to come anyway. It's going to be very like an internal type of transformation, you know. With Knave of Wands or Page of Wands, it really suggests that you really have to start looking beyond the physical. It kind of suggests that Gemini have maybe been a little superficial when it comes to love life, you know, maybe only looking at money or maybe only looking at looks or things like that. It's really time to look into the personality, because the wheel here, the Wheel of Fortune being here, is very much about, you know, the wheel is turning, and the fact that it's upside down, it's kind of like, I don't know how good love life is going to be during Mercury retrograde. Or you guys may get people from your past that come back that, you know, were superficial relationships that may tempt you, but just know that that's, you know, it's no good. You know, it's really, you guys really, at least when it comes to love and relationships, have to start looking at personality, soul level things instead of the physical, because when you guys look at the physical too much or material, you guys miss things, and that's when you know a heartbreak happens. And, you know, maybe that is kind of along the lines of like what your ancestors are trying to show you, of like who it's kind of like, you know, maybe they're the ones that's like, you know, this person is not good for you, you know. But in general, there's just a lot of healing energy for Gemini. So again, if you wanted to get a more intense, like full-fledged reading for Mercury retrograde, I would recommend seeing the new moon readings, because those were pretty much giant Mercury retrograde readings. But I hope this helped. Thank you so much, Gemini. Hello, Cancer people, Cancer risings, Cancer moons, and Cancer suns. This will be the most accurate for your Vedic rising sign, but if you only know your Western, that is totally fine too. I would suggest to watch the new moon readings that I did earlier this week, because those were pretty much giant Mercury retrograde readings, and this is kind of just going more into detail. But other than that, let's just get into it. Okay, Cancer people. So let's get into this. So the power that your words hold this retrograde season is 5 of Swords. Okay, so any conflicts that you guys had, anything like that, it's time to put it to rest. Okay, and I would suggest to do it in the most cordial way as possible. All right, usually 5 of Swords is a little bit, you know, intense when it comes to arguments and stuff like that. But, you know, try and do it as, you know, chill as humanly possible. Because what old wounds need to be transformed for you guys is King of Cups reversed, okay? So that's unbalanced emotions all day and all night, you know what I mean? So you guys really, really need to start to heal those emotions, being very, very emotional, things like that. Especially because the support that you guys have from your ancestors is Four of Swords. So Four of Swords kind of represents that they are going to kind of make sure that you guys are able to rest and kind of like be able to kind of bring things back into balance, because you guys do have energy healing here. You do have books, okay? So studying, reading, energy healing can be anything from like Reiki to yoga to meditation, anything like that. There's a lot of healing going on for you guys. And also too, just studying and kind of like just educating yourself more and just kind of stepping away from anything that's really toxic. Because in your relationships, with where you're at now, we have Queen of Wands reversed. And then the challenges is Nine of Coins. And then the advice is the Wheel reversed. So I don't know if you guys have not been that loyal, or I don't know if your partner hasn't been as loyal as they claim, but there's a loyalty issue going on in your guys' love life right now, and that either needs to come to the surface or end. So, and I mean, that could also represent, you know, there might be a past relationship where, you know, someone, you know, cheated on you or something like that, and they're coming back into your life or something like that. But basically, if you are the one that is not being loyal, Cancer, not a good idea. It's just not a good idea during retrograde. It's gonna come out. And if you are in a relationship and someone's not being loyal to you, then just know that, well, it will come out. So, you know, you don't have to question it much longer, you know what I mean? But it's something kind of funky there. And again, you know, this could also just mean that, you know, an ex that maybe previously wasn't loyal may come back. And, you know, if you're curious to know if you guys will work out this time, you're not. Retrograde is when people are brought back into your life during retrogrades, it's usually, you know, to kind of like remind you of a lesson or teach you more of a lesson. It's not usually like a good reunion necessarily, or like a happily ever after reunion. So yeah, if you want to get a more intense reading of this retrograde, I would suggest to watch the new moon readings. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, Cancer. Thank you so much. Hello, my Leo risings, my Leo suns, and my Leo moons. This is going to be the most accurate for your Vedic rising sign, but if you only know your Western, that is totally okay too. I would suggest to watch the new moon video that I did the other day, just because I feel like that this reading is definitely an extension of that reading. But other than that, let's get into it. Okay, so the power of your guys' words this retrograde is going to be 8 of Wands reversed, okay? So you guys are really going to be able to reevaluate your guys' situation. You guys are really going to be able to look at the past, and things from the past may come up so you can reevaluate your current situation. Because also the wounds that you guys have to start to heal is the Hermit reverse. So that kind of just means that you guys have been putting off working on your spirituality, or putting off working on spiritual healing or cleansing, or, you know, basically what you should be doing, like what you know you should be doing, and you're just like not, you know what I mean? So I feel like those two are probably like put together in some way. Also, the support you guys are getting from your ancestors is King of Spears, so they're not mad at you, okay? They're not mad at you that you're not talking to them. They are really actually supporting you and really want to be behind you, but they want you to talk to them. They want you to be more connected to spirit right now, because as far as career, you guys have a lot of options. It says here, you guys have options. You choose whatever you want during retrograde. So maybe that is a lot of like what's reevaluating and what you really want to do. We also have body work here, okay? So this could be anything to do with the physical body. It could be tattoos, massage therapy, physical therapy, exercise training, Reiki, anything like that. Anything like that. So So what's going on in your guys' love life for Leo? We have 9 of Cups reversed for where you guys are at right now, okay? We have 5 of Cups here for challenges, and then we have 10 of Wands reversed, okay, for advice. So what this means is Leos aren't really like being grateful for what they have, or they're kind of looking in the wrong places, like when it comes to love, you know, they're not really seeing that, you know, there actually may be someone around who they actually really like, or who actually likes them, or, you know, they're just being more cynical about it than they really should be, really, because in challenges, this 5 of Cups is basically like a lot of past regretments are coming up right now about relationships. So maybe, you know, things that you've done, you know, in the past, or, you know, just relationships that you wish worked out and stuff like that is like really just coming up and kind of like just kind of blinding you a little bit. And the problem with that is in advice we have 10 of Wands reversed, so it really just means that you really have to start releasing like old wounds so you can really figure out exactly what you want, so you can move forward and be with someone who you actually want. Because 10 of Wands in this particular deck is about, you know, having the power of a woman and power of a man like put together and having something actually like successful and working. And when it's reversed, it's like, you know, right now because of guilt or because of shame or because of just regrets and things like that, you might end up, you know, being in a relationship or messing with someone where it's not equal, or just literally kind of backing off entirely and missing blessings. So there has to be a good medium of, you know, healthily releasing old relationships and at the same time having fun. But your ancestors are definitely behind you guys, Leo. Again, as far as work, you guys have a lot of options. Definitely something to do with physical body will help. And, you know, being spiritual, you know, really, you know, being spiritual and connecting to source will help during retrograde. So yeah, I hope this helped you guys out. Again, if you guys want to watch more of an intense and full-fledged reading for retrograde, I suggest watching the new moon readings. They're pretty much just retrograde readings. So yeah, I hope this helped you guys, Leo. Thank you so much. Hello, Virgo people, Virgo risings, Virgo suns, and Virgo moons. This reading is for you for Mercury retrograde. I would say that your Vedic rising sign is the most accurate, but if you only know your Western chart, that is totally okay too. I suggest watching the new moon video that I posted a few days ago, before or after this at some point, just because it was pretty much a giant Mercury retrograde spread, and this is like the continuation of it, a little bit added information. So let's just get into it. Okay, Virgo people, so I feel like there is a little bit of like, well, I feel like there's just disharmony here, like internal disharmony for Virgo, and the biggest thing that sticks out to me is sensitivity here for life purpose, basically saying that you're getting too sensitive, or you're getting more sensitive and you need to make, you know, according life changes for that. So basically when I'm saying sensitive, I'm saying you're getting sensitive to energy. So essentially your outer senses are opening up, Virgo people. So, you know, Virgo people that are watching this, I don't know if you guys already know you have psychic ability, or, you know, have anything like that, or healing ability or anything like that. Just know that you're getting more sensitive, so you're going to have to really make life changes in according to that, because we also have the power of what your guys' words have is 4 of Wands reversed. So I feel like you guys are really going to be able to bring harmony back to your guys' self, because right now it's like kind of funky. So you know, the power of your guys' words is really going to help kind of like basically help other people realize like, hey, I'm not necessarily okay right now, so I can't necessarily be there for you. Because I feel like Virgo people usually are the ones that are, a lot of people come to them for advice, but they don't usually feel like they can go to other people. So it's kind of like that situation for Virgo. What old wound that you guys have to heal from? We have King of Cups. So any emotional old wounds from the past. I mean, this could be old relationships that come back, things like that. Because I mean, there are some old wounds from the past, as far as like in the love part, where you guys like, I feel like have a hard time trusting people, or have a hard time like really letting go of yourself in a relationship, because where you guys are at right now, you guys have 5 of Wands. So 5 of Wands in this deck, you know, you guys are happy for the people that are around you for relationships. It's not like you guys are like jealous or like envious of anybody's relationships. But you know, you do like want one, you know. So, but the challenge here, you have Ace of Swords. And so Ace of Swords, it's like, you just have a problem or an issue with trusting and fully giving yourself to a relationship, which is why, you know, you haven't really, you know, been in one or aren't really having one right now, because like there's something like holding you back from having one. And in advice, you have 9 of Swords, and that kind of just means like, you know, maybe this is a good time to kind of like step back, you know, and look within the self again and kind of heal there, you know, before going out into the world. But if you do go out in the world, make sure that it is a healing experience. It's not more traumatic experience, you know what I mean? Like, really be cautious, but be cautious and heal. And it's one of those things, like the more you heal, the more you'll know who's not right for you, so you'll be able to avoid like a bad situation. But if you do have a good situation for you, you know, I'm not saying get into a relationship with them, because Mercury retrograde, you shouldn't. But, you know, appreciate it. You know, have fun. The support that you guys have from your ancestors, you have King of Spears reversed. Your ancestors just like really want you to kind of get off your butt. I feel like there is like a connection with your ancestors making you more sensitive. Kind of to, get you off your butt and really start moving forward. Because the sensitivity card is really pointing out to me, and I just realized the King of Spears is looking at the sensitivity card. So I feel like your ancestors are purposely opening you up to like energies and thinning the veil and all that, either to give you specific messages to help you move forward and help you become more in harmony with yourself, or, you know, maybe that is part of your path, is to be sensitive, you know. We also have artists here, so art is really good for Virgos right now. Anything artistic, any artistic endeavors, creating art, being an artist, anything like that, it's good for Virgo. So yeah, guys, this was the Virgo Mercury retrograde reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And again, if you want a more full-fledged intense reading for Mercury retrograde, I suggest watching the new moon readings. But overall, Virgo, you guys got to make life changes during Mercury retrograde when it comes to sensitivity and communication, which kind of makes sense too, because Mercury retrograde is hitting Virgo in the 3rd house of communications. So, you know, prime time for Virgos. Have a good day, guys. Thank you. Hello, this was for my Libra risings, Libra suns, and Libra moons. So your Vedic rising sign will be the most accurate, but if you only know your Vedic rising sign, that is totally okay too. I would suggest to watch the new moon video I did a couple days ago, because that was pretty much a giant Mercury retrograde spread, and this is a continuation of it. So yeah, let's go into it, you guys. Okay, Libra. So there's a lot of choices for Libra to sift through during Mercury retrograde, especially because we have a lot of 2s in love life. We have 7 of Cups reversed. A power that Libra's words hold during Mercury retrograde is Page of Cups reversed. Okay, so you guys are really going to be able to kind of get through emotional stuff, get through creative stuff, kind of figure that whole life out for you guys. I mean, not life, but you know what I mean, to kind of just go through it and like figure it out a little bit more. Just because what help you guys have from your ancestors, you have 7 of Cups reversed. And 7 of Cups reversed does talk about when there's a lot of options and you kind of have no idea what's going on, and you kind of have to listen to yourself. No one's really going to tell you what to do, you know. So your ancestors are really going to step in and help you kind of figure out what is going on for that. Because too, we do have practice here, so practice your skills. So it's better for you to practice the skills that you already have instead of jumping into anything new necessarily. We also have teaching, so teaching is a possibility here. Maybe you are the master of your skills already, and now it's time to pass it on to others, you know. Maybe that's something to think about. Also, too, the old wound that you guys have to heal is the Hierophant reversed. And the Hierophant reversed does suggest that your belief systems right now, faith, things like that, are kind of funky. So I don't know if something happened or something like that, but you guys really are going to have to restore like personal faith, like faith within yourself, or, you know, maybe your own faith in the universe, you know, something like that. But faith is going to be a theme there for healing old wounds. In love life, where you guys are at now, is you have Two of Swords, so that's all about making decisions, making promises. So I don't know if you guys are looking at someone, you know what I mean? Kind of, you know, like, is this something? Because challenges, we have Two of Wands, so, you know, I kind of feel like you guys are looking at someone like, oh, could this be a thing? And the thing is, though, is that you do have an advice, the Magician, reversed. Okay, so if Libra has anyone in on their mind, you know, I will say that the likelihood of it going smoothly is very low if you decide to start it during Mercury retrograde or even during a Mercury pre-shadow. If you guys met specifically during a pre-shadow, it's still even a little funky, you know, it's better, but, you know, Mercury retrograde isn't a good time for relationships, at least for long term. Usually if relationships start during a retrograde, there's a really intense karmic lesson to be learned, but it's not necessarily like y'all are gonna get married, you know what I mean? Because an advice with the Magician reversed, it does mean that there could just be things that you're not necessarily seeing right now, or, you know, one person might be kind of manipulating the situation a little bit. So I don't know, kind of just be careful there, Libras. But other than that, it looks good. I mean, maybe that has to do with how your ancestors are like, yo, we're gonna bring things to the surface so you can finally like make decisions and decide, you know, maybe that's part of it. You know, I mean, maybe, honestly. So that is definitely something to think about. But other than that, things look good. So yeah, again, if you want to get more of an intense reading and more full-fledged reading, I would say check out the new moon readings I did a few days ago, because those were pretty much Mercury retrograde readings. So yeah, thank you so much, Libra. I'll see you next time. Hi everyone. Hi my Scorpio rising, Scorpio moons, and Scorpio suns. This will be the most accurate for your Vedic rising sign, but if you only know your Western sign, that is totally okay too. I would say that this is an extension of the new moons readings that I did earlier this week. So if you want to check that out first or after, go for it. But let's get into this Mercury retrograde reading for Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio, the first thing that I'm going to say is this Mercury retrograde is hitting Scorpio risings in their first house of the self, okay? So obviously this retrograde is going to be hitting Scorpios more than everybody else, or Scorpio placements, I should say. So just know already, I'm seeing that there's already going to be transformation during retrograde, but let's just get into it. The power of Scorpio's words this retrograde, we have King of Cups, okay? So that's really, really great for Scorpio, especially because, you know, during the new moon reading, I saw a lot of Scorpio kind of like emotionally kind of funky, you know, kind of deciding to be nice or deciding to be evil, you know. So it's good to know that at least during retrograde, the power of our words will lead to like balance and compassion. We really have to work on balance and compassion during Mercury retrograde. Also, because what old wounds were ready to transform, we have King of Spears. Okay, so I don't know if Scorpio has been feeling kind of down on themselves recently. I know I have heavy Scorpio placement, so I know I have been kind of funky recently. But just know that all is going to be transformed. There's a lot of transformation with the self, okay, with self-drive, with confidence, with discipline, everything. Because the support that we have from our ancestor Scorpio is death. Okay, and that's just transformation all around. That's very Scorpio, rebirth, you know what I mean? So expect a lot of rebirth, okay? And it makes sense because retrograde is all about redoing, reevaluating, okay? So there's gonna be a lot of that. Books and art is gonna help, okay? Reading, educating ourselves, being creative, you know, kind of getting out of our heads a little bit, or like expanding our mind a little bit more. Is going to help during Mercury retrograde, okay? Also, because also too, that has to do with career as well. So, I mean, maybe Mercury retrograde doesn't seem like the time to really be moving forward with career stuff. Maybe just kind of keep doing what you're doing or educate yourself more, but not necessarily like start anything. In love life, we have the Knave of Wands, okay, as where we're at right now. And that kind of just means that we're like kind of in a place where we kind of just want to have fun. See, okay, so here's the thing with the Scorpio love reading. We have Knave of Wands for where we're at right now. We have Nine of Cups for our challenge. And then we have the High Priestess of advice. So how I am seeing this is I feel like Scorpio people have been really wanting something very intense and wanting something very like, they want, like the Scorpios I feel like want an intense relationship right now. I don't really want to say it go as far as like get married or anything, but Scorpio's definitely not looking for like a 2-week fling right now. Scorpio's looking for something like intense, something karmic almost, something that is like very just, and you know, we're kind of at a place right now where we're kind of like, we're not looking for it in everybody, but we're kind of like, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? But at the same time, we're being really picky about it too. And I feel like Scorpios really, really, well, one, cannot go back to past relationships. The past isn't where it's at because we have transformation here, and that's rebirth. So everything from the past has to basically be put to rest. But at the same time, the High Priestess reversed here kind of makes me feel like the advice is to just listen to, well, one, if someone in your gut is like, oh, like this might be something, just go for it even though they like don't have everything, quote unquote, that you like your dream person has, whatever. Kind of almost like the Knave of Wands suggests, like, almost don't focus on the physical stuff right now. Like appearance and stuff. Like focus on like soul level stuff when it comes to relationships during retrograde. I just feel like a lot of stuff is going to come up with transformation and, you know, basically putting a lot of stuff from the past to rest during Mercury retrograde. So just keep that in mind, Scorpio, that everything from the past is going to be put to rest. And just know that, you know, obviously any new relationships, any relationships that usually start during Mercury retrograde have more of a karmic lesson or soul lesson in it instead of like a soul connection. So there's a lot of like lessons. That seems to be, there's a lot of rebirth going on for Scorpio. So heads up. Thank you so much, Scorpio. And again, if you want to get a more intense and full-fledged reading, then check out the new moon readings I did. But yeah, thank you so much, Scorpio. Hi, Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius moons, and Sagittarius suns. How are you? Again, this is going to be the most accurate for your Vedic rising sign, but if you only know your Western sign, that's totally okay too. I would say if you want to get a more intense reading, to watch the new moon video that I did, because this Mercury retrograde reading seems to be more of an extension of that reading. But other than that, let's get into it. Okay, Sagittarius, so this Mercury retrograde is hitting your guys' house of undoing, the 12th house, okay? So there's going to be a lot of old stuff that comes up, a lot of old stuff, but also a lot of stuff to finally push you forward. So the power that your guys' words have is Four of Coins reversed, okay? So money is really going to come up. Career is probably going to come up too. I do feel like something with career is coming up because you guys have time to decide when it comes to life purpose and career, so it's really like, okay. And then we also have help from your ancestors, is Seven of Cups reversed, so that's all about, there's a lot of bringing things into reality and bringing things into actual like clarity for you to actually move forward. I feel like what's going on with Sagittarius, there's a lot of like uncertainty with Sagittarius, and you feel like you guys are waiting for answers that you're not getting, and I feel like your ancestors are really going to help bring certain things to light so you can actually start making decisions. Because also what old wounds you guys have to heal or are ready to transform is the Hermit, okay? So your ancestors are trying to talk to you. The universe is trying to talk to you, but you guys keep looking at almost too much of the facts. You know, it's like you guys got to start like opening your mind a little bit. You guys also have environmentalist here, so the environment is really going to help you. There's a lot of energy about getting out of like the material world and just kind of broadening your perspective more on like esoteric levels to kind of make decisions. I kind of feel like that's really the energy for Sagittarius is like, yeah, just stop looking at science and like maybe, you know, pray and you might get the answer, you know. Because also that's kind of showing up in love life too, because where you're at right now, we have 5 of Cups reversed. Okay, 5 of Cups reversed is good. That means you guys are really ready to get rid of old wounds from past relationships. You're just kind of over, you know, feeling like poo-poo about yourself. You're just like, you know what, I'm good. The only challenge is trusting your intuition. You guys have the High Priestess. Trusting your intuition and waiting for something to happen. Again, it's the same situation where you guys, the challenge is you guys have to really start trusting something out of you, something bigger than yourself, something like your ancestors or the universe, God, whatever it is for you that works. It's time to start, you know, believing in it. Because advice for love life too, you guys have 7 of Wands. And 7 of Wands in this deck is all about clarity, all about actually talking to other people and getting clear about where everyone's at, what does everyone want, what the hell is going on. So there's a lot of things that look like there's going to be clarity when it comes to Sagittarius. But the only thing though is the universe may, and your ancestors may like really just throw it in front of your face, but it looks like everything is going to be a lot easier if you guys meditate, if you guys pray, if you guys, you know, do anything that isn't like literally asking people for answers. You know what I mean? You guys got to look either within yourself or out, you know, in the universe or something energetically or something, but not, it's whatever you're looking for. It's not going to be like someone's going to be like, oh, here you go. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing for Sagittarius. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. And again, if you wanted to get a more full-fledged reading for Mercury retrograde and the new moon and everything, I suggest to watch my new moon video that I posted earlier this week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hello, Capricorn risings, Capricorn moons, and Capricorn suns. How are you? This reading will be the most accurate for Vedic rising signs, but if you only know your Western, that is totally okay too. If you want to get a more in-depth reading, I would say check out my new moon reading that I posted earlier this week. But yeah, let's just get into this. Okay, Capricorn, so Mercury retrograde for you guys. Capricorn risings, Mercury retrograde is hitting your guys' 11th house of friends and community and humanitarianism and all that good stuff. Okay, so just know that. The power that your guys' words hold, we have the Hermit reversed. So honestly, Capricorns really do need to like kind of like go into seclusion a little bit during Mercury retrograde. Also because what old wounds you guys have to heal is Ace of Coins reverse. So Ace of Coins reverse does represent that in the past maybe you guys have been very quick about making decisions and being impulsive, you know, and maybe during Mercury retrograde it's a kind of going back and reevaluating the choices that you have made and, you know, kind of going back and kind of like rethinking things and restructuring. There's a lot of like rethinking and restructuring things because I feel like you guys have been very like outward, you know. We also do have that kind of going on like in your guys' love life because we have 9 of Cups here of where you guys are right now, which is good, you know, but your challenges and advice. Challenges, you have 5 of Coins reversed, and advice, you have Knave of Cups reversed. So both of those kind of mean that, you know, don't be possessive in your relationships right now. Don't force things to make it work. You know what I mean? Don't force things in your favor. You know what I mean? Just because I feel like your guys' emotions are a little funky due to like love life right now. Like, I don't know if you guys are single right now and you guys are kind of looking for someone, like make sure you don't like force someone like into like the mold that like the idea that you have of them. And like if you are in a relationship right now, try to like hold off from like jealousy and, you know, mistrust and like, I don't know, it's just kind of, there's something weird there. Like, I don't know if you guys have gotten hurt in the past or recently, but there's a very intense like want there that almost can turn toxic, because also too the advice or the support that you guys have from your ancestors is Queen of Swords, and so your ancestors are really helping you guys be logical. Your ancestors are really helping you guys do things from a moral and ethical standpoint that just is based on logic and not necessarily from emotion or from any vengefulness or anything like that, you know. Queen of Swords is very much someone who just stands in their ground and like knows what they believe in, and like that's it, you know. So I feel like there is a lot of like healing going on for Mercury retrograde, because okay, you have energy healing, I mean, so either work on healing your own energy, or if energy healing is part of your, you know, work, then definitely work towards that. And also counseling is here, you know, you heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathetic ear. So there's a lot of like healing with the self for Capricorns. This Mercury retrograde, definitely go back and look at any like past decisions, or like particularly like with finance or money or anything that you made that you kind of need to reevaluate. And as far as like love, you know, just don't force anything, you know. If something's not working, it's not working. And just remember that you guys have the support from your ancestors to kind of like keep a logical mind, and like to just try not to get too emotional about anything. So, you know, overly emotional about anything. So yeah, I hope this helped you guys, Capricorn. Again, if you want to watch like a more in-depth, like in full reading for Capricorn, then watch the new moon readings I did earlier this week. And yeah, I hope this helped you guys. Thank you so much. Hi, Aquarius risings, Aquarius moons, and Aquarius suns. How are you? This reading is going to be the most accurate for your Vedic rising sign, but if you only know your Western signs, that is totally okay too. If you want to get a more intense, full-fledged reading, I would say check out the new moon readings that I did earlier this week, but other than that, let's get into it. Okay, Aquarius, so the biggest thing for Mercury retrograde for you guys is that retrograde is hitting your 10th house, Aquarius risings, your 10th house of career, okay? So work is going to come up, but the first thing that you guys got to know is you're on the right path came up, okay? So just know that, all right? So don't freak out. Mercury retrograde is going to be all about reevaluating and rethinking about things and just kind of just putting things more into place, probably adding more discipline, things like that. Flowers came up too, so I don't know if you guys work with flowers or if you like flowers or something about like bringing beauty in your environment is really going to help everything to go along with like your career and everything. Also, the power that your guys' words hold this retrograde is 7 of Cups. So you guys are really going to be able to either create a lot of options for yourself, or you're going to be able to find clarity in a lot of options that have been presented to you, which is really, really good, okay? And also old wounds that is ready to be transformed for Aquarius, the 10 of Swords, all right? So that's all really, really old, dead-end wounds that have not been healed yet. So I don't know. This could be anything from, you know, someone that has passed that you haven't really, you know, dealt with, to fights with parents or family members, to, you know, exes you haven't gotten over, old jobs or opportunities that, you know, you quote unquote messed up on or something like that. Anything like that, like it's ready to be transformed into something different. And the other thing too, what support you guys have from your ancestors is 9 of Spears reversed. So the support there, you guys, your ancestors are really going to help you out as far as making sure that not any more stuff is piled onto you, because I feel like you are very tired, Aquarius, because you guys do have a lot of options. There's a lot of things that are ending, you know, but things are in flux, you know. So I kind of feel like things are just kind of flowing. It's almost like Mercury retrograde is more of like a continuation for you guys of life than it's going to shake things up, you know, which is good, which is really, really good, you know. As far as your love life goes, where you guys are at now, you're in a good place. You have Ace of Pentacles, so I don't know if you guys have been talking to someone, or if you guys have been starting to look more into yourselves, but you know, you're starting in a good place. The challenge though, we have the Hangman reverse. So this is going to mean that someone that you're interested in, or someone who you may feel romantic with, actually it's not a romantic relationship. It's not actually like, you kind of have to change your perspective on it. It might just be a very, very intense karmic bond to help heal your relationships, but not actually be someone that you're in a relationship with. Because advice, we have the wheel, so that's all about your wheel is turning, things are good, things are turning to be good luck and things like that. So I don't know, I'm kind of getting that energy for Aquarius, that like whoever it comes into your life romantically isn't actually there for a long time. They're more there for healing purposes, or you're not even supposed to be romantic with them at all, or you're not supposed to be physical with them. Like, you're not necessarily supposed to have sex, but you know, just the relationship itself is very healing. You know what I mean? So in general, Aquarius looks very, very healing. It looks very healing, and it looks very pretty much chill. It looks like more internal emotional stuff is going to be brought to the surface and, you know, fleshed out, but other than that, it looks good. If you guys want a more in-depth reading about everything that's going on during retrograde and the new moon and everything, I would suggest to go check out the new moon readings that I did. But other than that, it looks good, Aquarius. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Hello, Pisces people, Pisces risings, Pisces moons, and Pisces suns. How are you? This is going to be the most accurate for your Vedic rising signs, but if you only know your Western sign, that is totally okay too. If you want to get a more intense, full-fledged reading, I would suggest to watch the new moon readings that I did earlier this week, because these seem to be just an extension of those. But other than that, let's look into what's going on for you guys during Mercury retrograde. Okay, Pisces. So this actually looks really, really good for you guys, this Mercury retrograde. Also, too, this Mercury retrograde is hitting your guys' 9th house of education and travel and expansion and all that good stuff. So kind of makes sense that you guys aren't going through anything super, super crazy. The power of your guys' words, we have Queen of Coins. So you guys are really going to be able to be the Queen of Coins, you know, be someone who's able to take care of everything at home and take care of everything at work, you know what I mean? I always see the Queen of Coins as almost a more advanced version from the Nine of Coins. Is very like self-sufficiency to the max, you know what I mean? So with your guys' words, say what you want. Tell people exactly what you want and what you deserve, because if you don't ask, you won't receive, you know what I mean? The old wounds that you guys are ready to release and to transform is 10 of Swords reversed, okay? So 10 of Swords. You guys already have been releasing old wounds, you know, old things that you kind of haven't been, you know, ready to release, but you're doing it anyways, and there's kind of just more of that coming. Also, the support that you guys have from your ancestors is 8 of Swords reversed, so they're really going to help bring clarity to you guys. They're really going to help bring inner clarity of like what is going on, which totally makes sense with the Queen of Coins and 10 of Swords reversed, you know. Just shedding, it's almost like Pisces people are really like shedding an old skin during Mercury retrograde and kind of like coming into this new them, you know, because we also have practice here. So as far as work and everything, keep doing what you're doing. But you also have speaker here. So you guys, it's really ready for you guys to kind of like, you know, speak your mind, you know, think like this. So your ancestors are really helping you when it comes to like life purpose here. Okay. As far as love life goes, where you guys are at right now, you're kind of like, it's just like meh, like, you know what I mean? Like you guys are like a little bit, you know, kind of not jealous, but you guys are definitely kind of looking at everyone like, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Because we have, you know, Knave of Cups here reversed. And the challenge here is 4 of Wands reversed, which means that like you guys just aren't really having fun either. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like Pisces always wants to find love, you know what I mean? Because advice, you guys do have 10 of Cups, you know what I mean? It's just that right now, it's almost like you guys are looking at it for it in the wrong places, or the people that you're, you know, messing with just aren't on your level. Like, they're just not, you know what I mean? And the advice is basically just try and stay as in harmony as humanly possible, even if that means that you just, you know, don't have anyone right now. which, you know, it's fine, you know. It's just know that, like, you know, if you guys do have anyone right now, like, you might get a little bored. That's kind of just the energy. You might get a little bored, and it's simply just because this person or the people that you're around just aren't necessarily as in harmony with your soul and with who you are as you thought they were. But it's not bad. It's just you might get a little bored. So balls in your court, Pisces. But if you want to get a more full-fledged reading, a more in-depth reading with everything that, you know, is going on for new moon and for November and retrograde, I suggest to watch the new moon readings that I did earlier this week. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, Pisces. Thank you so much.